Okay. Wow. Fireworks right there at the end. And honestly, I felt so bad for her. I was starting to get secondhand embarrassment from that. Like, she just kept on digging. She kept on digging her grave, like one lie at a time. She just kept on and kept on and kept on. And that Camille woman, she owned her ass. That was really bad. That was really, really bad. Like, when like when you see someone, I guess you would say like your sibling, right? And like they're lying to your parents, and then your parents call them out, and then you see them in like the lie, and then they lie again, and then they lie again, and they lie again, and you're like, stop lying, stop lying, stop. Can you stop lying? And every time she was getting a question from that Camille woman, I mean, this woman owned her ass so bad. I felt so bad for her. She brought it on herself, man. So we're just gonna jump right in. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for clicking the little bell. Here we go. Here we go. So I had a couple of little technical difficulties at the very beginning this morning, but I did get to the part where she said the attorney asked her what was wrong with the way she was describing all the abuse. And the woman said, "My memory doesn't work that way." Okay. Oh my gosh, I didn't even bring that out. Hold on. Let's show this video first. Okay? Let's show this video first because this is...
So what happened next? Let's do this. How long?
That was basically it. Like, you saw that right there, the way that she was like, and then the attorney had to step in and like guide her along. It was basically like that all day. That's basically exactly how it was all day. It really was. So going back to this, we said about the memory doesn't work that way. Then they asked her about the guitar. Remember how she said, "Oh, I never learned how to play guitar," but then she's seen in pictures with a guitar. She said, "I posed with a guitar." That wasn't a lie. So then they asked her about the couch. Remember when she was with Johnny Depp in the audio? Couch, I want couch. So apparently couch is a safe word, I guess, whatever that means. You know what it kind of seemed like? It kind of seemed like her legal team did some work online, because everything she was talking about was all the stuff that was on social media. That's exactly what it seemed like, man, to be honest with you. Not man, but you know what I mean. Then she goes on to say there were different versions of him and they were drastically different from one another. They didn't remember what the other version did. Okay, like, this is the thing. We're not going to sit here and be upset about Johnny Depp being a drug addict. Not only that, but we've heard people that we believe, okay, not because they're paid by Johnny Depp, but because we believe their testimony. We've heard people say that he was fine when he was high, he was fine when he was drunk, he was leveled off when he was on coke. Like, why do we care about his drug use? We don't care anymore, Amber Heard. Do you not get that? Oh, Italian fingers. Oh. So then they show this photo of the attorney. I believe I have a lot of these photos, so every time I bring up a photo, I should have it. The attorney shows a photo of her scars, but we've actually known, I've already done a video on her self-harm, so that's basically all it was. She said it was a photo, it was when he slammed me up, he slammed me up against the glass, and there was a what did she say, a counter. He slammed me up against the counter, and there was shredded glass on it, and that's why I had all these cuts. Dude, it was self-harm. She was burning herself. I've done a video on that already. I've already done that once. And that's the thing about this kind of thing. We all know the truth. We all have already seen so much evidence. Like, she's just sitting up there lying. So then she says that there was a period of sobriety with Johnny, that he was committed to being clean. She said, "I thought we had finally done it." But this whole time, she's never once talked about her own addiction, her own problems with cocaine. And then she goes on to say that she had only done cocaine once or a few times when she was 18 and 19 years old. So then which is it? Which is it? Oh, so much lying today, man. Honestly, it was so much lying today. It was really bad. Like, ugh. And then she says, then she starts talking about it was really a beautiful period, a peaceful period. And then they ask her about Australia, going back into the Australia home. And then she says something about, well, Johnny was my home, and that home was really violent. We managed to go back to that same house, but it felt very different. That's, oh. And then she starts talking about the Magic Mike tour. She went to Europe. She said she was worried because going on a press tour is problematic for him, that he gets upset, that he was upset with her for being on the tour. Okay. Look, she keeps on saying he's getting mad and he doesn't want her to act and do jobs, but she keeps doing jobs. So you're telling me that all this work that you've been doing has been against his wishes. So you're also trying to tell me you love this person. So you love someone and you're not listening to what they tell you. I guess you don't love them then, because you're just doing whatever the fuck you want. We've already seen pictures of her with side boob. We already know that she fucked Franco in Johnny Depp's apartment. We already know she fucked Franco in a movie. And then she goes on later in her testimony to talk about that she got a job with Franco in a TV show where she was going to have sex with him too. Like, are you sure that you're telling the truth, Amber Heard? Are you sure? Because I don't know, man. I really don't. Like, I genuinely don't. And I'm sorry to everybody that had to sit through that. You know, that's why I do this for you, so that way you don't have to sit through it, and I can kind of, walk you through everything that happened. But even me, man, this morning, like, I was just sitting there and I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to listen to this woman. Like, that's how I was sitting there, and it was just, like, I took so many notes the whole damn day. And I just wanted to stop taking notes towards noon, towards the lunch break. I was just like, I'm so tired of her lying. So then they show the photo on the boat. Remember that photo on the boat? And Johnny Depp's all beat up. And she says that he was the one that beat her up on that trip. When we have a photo of her, perfect, nothing on her face, but yet he's all jacked up. Really? Then she says it was peaceful till he starts drinking, that she has to walk on eggshells because she knows the pattern. Then she says he slapped me across the face and he grabbed me by my neck and he was squeezing me up against the rail car for what felt like a very long time. So then she says she was clawing at him to get his hands away from my neck. And she's like, he ripped my shirt off and my breasts were showing. Like, dude, just like play the part of the abused woman so horribly. Like, it's just more acting. That's all it is. It's more acting. So then she says I woke up the next day with a giant knot in the back of my head. No proof, no medical attention. Then at the same time, she said that in that altercation, he wrapped a shirt around her neck and he strangled her with it. If someone wraps anything around your neck and they start strangling, there's going to be bruises right there. What the hell are you talking about, lady? So then they play an audio recording where he's asking her to stop recording. He says, don't pretend to be a teacher. You're not authoritative with me. And then she goes on to say that they were discussing being able to record each other without each other's permission. Then they go on to August 2015, and she says, it was a very difficult time. Johnny started using again. I got an offer for a show, which was a problem. It was problematic for a TV series that had Franco in it, and it would require brief nudity. Oh, yeah? Because you took Franco to Johnny Depp's apartment, and you sucked his cock, and you took it in the ass, and you were cheating in Johnny Depp's apartment, and we've already proved that you were doing that? You think that it's going to be a problem? You think it's going to be problematic? Because you took it in the ass from Franco in a man's house? Come on. Who wouldn't accuse someone when they see something like that? When they see a woman cheat on them in their own house, bro. Who wouldn't accuse them over and over and over? Like, dude, you're a cheater. We know you're a cheater, Amber. Everybody knows it. Stop. So then she says that was a problem because Johnny really didn't want me to do that to work. She talks about London Fields, and then they started screening London Fields. And then she says, Well, we were screening London Fields, and I had to tell him it was unbeknownst to me, like George Lopez, right? The way he said, unbeknownst to me. It was unbeknownst to me that they used a body double for a sex scene. You're telling me you starred in a film, okay? You had a sex scene, and you didn't know they filmed it, and you didn't know that they used a body double. Jeez. So then she says doing the job with Franco was a week of hell. Then she claims Johnny slapped her across the face. Again, no proof, no medical attention. Then she claims he punched me across the jaw. No proof, no medical attention. Then she claims I went flying into this old furniture after he threw me. No proof, no medical attention. And then they talk about this folder on Johnny Depp's computer labeled "No Fun for JD." A collection of pictures of Heard on red carpets showing side boob. So it's basically like a collection, so that way he could be like, look, you lied. Like, these are the pictures of you showing side boob. Because probably what was happening, dude, she was probably telling Johnny, she was like, no, I'm not wearing any kind of promiscuous clothing. I'm not wearing anything wrong, Johnny. You're just delusional. So then Johnny had to literally get some proof and been like, look, asshole, like, you're lying. That's probably exactly what happened. So then they start talking about cuts on her arms and that Johnny never asked about how she got them. So then she starts talking about him self-injuring when we've never even heard about anything about that, but yet we've heard about her self-injuring, which is projection, again, putting her own actions on him. And then she says, let me see. He self-injured often. I almost called 911 in August 2014. He would cut his arms and or hold a knife to his chest. And he would put cigarettes out on himself. Okay. Okay. Like, let's just say that those were true. So what? Why, number one, why wouldn't you document that? Why wouldn't you have pictures of scars, pictures of injuries? And then also, why wouldn't you document the fact of telling that to his own doctor? He has his own doctor and you didn't tell them that? Okay. So then they show the audio recording of Johnny wanting to leave. She says 15 minutes. You're only leaving for 15 minutes because before he would be leaving for days at a time. And then she claims he was vomiting on himself all the time and she had to turn him over so he wouldn't choke. And then there's another audio, the audio of I didn't punch you, I hit you. You remember that one? Then she starts explaining it, dude. She says, there's two different situations I'm doing here. I'm talking about the disparity in size between Johnny and I in our physical fights. What are you talking about? Johnny is like 3 inches taller than you. What the hell are you talking about? And then she goes on to say, he would proactively punch me, and me, I'd have to hit him back in my defense. Right here. That's all I wanted to do while she was testifying right there. Talks about, and then she starts talking about her toes, that Johnny had asked her about her toes. And this story, she blames it on a misunderstanding, that he misunderstood an interaction because he had fallen asleep, that it heard like he fell asleep in the restroom. So then she's trying to bang open the door, and apparently he got mad and he starts getting angry at her. So he shoves the door at her and then it hit her toes or something, I guess. So then another audio, the one about, I can't promise you I won't get physical again. And then she explains it like this. I'm taking as much responsibility as I had to the whole relationship. I had been blamed for everything. At some point, it's easier to take the blame and to accept the violence that you can't change. Oh. Really? Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking stupid. Like every time she would speak and try to explain something, it was just face palm all day long, all day. Look, you can even kind of see my hair right here because I'd be going like this and I'd be like, oh, and I'd be like, oh. Like it was so frustrating. Sorry, I just got a text. It was so frustrating, dude. Honestly, it really, really was. Having to hear her lie so much, it was so frustrating. I'm sorry. And like by 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I was already like almost saying to myself, do I really need to keep on taking notes? Do I really need to keep on taking notes? And then they have another audio about her telling Johnny that his friends and staff always validate him in their fights and them being on his side. No shit, he pays them. They're supposed to be on his side, and not in that way either. Like, she's trying to make it seem like she's not doing what they claim, that she's not abusive and she's not, abusive. Yeah. And that they're only agreeing with him because he pays them. Number one, if he pays them, do you think they'd give a shit if nothing was going on? No, they would be getting paid and they would be sitting back lounging. They wouldn't give a shit. They were doing that because their client is being abused. Dumbass. So then they start talking about Thanksgiving 2015. She claims that Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson were disappearing to go do coke, allegedly. So then she literally says it like that. I was really dependent to find the changes in his mood, and I was reliant on the changes. She's trying to say like that she knew if he was going to start doing coke, then he was going to start getting violent, I guess. And the one thing I will guarantee is that her legal team told her not to cry anymore. You can absolutely tell. They told her, look, just stop, Amber. Stop with the fake crying, please, because it's really hurting us. It's really hurting us. And she's like, okay. So then she goes and she says, I wanted to know what I was dealing with. That's why I followed him. But then she goes right after that to saying, I went up the stairs ahead of him. So did you follow him or were you ahead of him? What are you talking about? And then she goes on to say, he flung me a little bit. I retreated to the bedroom. I had a glass of wine. It fell. He picked up the decanter and hurled it at my head. So then she goes and she's like, oh, I got past him. There might have been a bit of a shove. I can't recall. So then she says, we finished the evening, more fighting afterwards. She shows a photo of her bruised temple. I think I have it here. And then she says that he punched her multiple times, and all she had was a photo of a bruise. Multiple times. She says that he was hallucinating because he was talking to himself, that he was talking to people that weren't there, and then she would accuse him of people that weren't there, blah, blah, blah. Then they start talking about February 9th. She says, Johnny was behaving very scary. In these discussions, in the argument, he would accuse me of something with someone in the room or if I was hiding someone in the room. Okay. Then she says, I got cryptic texts from him and that scared me. I went to his main house and I slept on the couch. And she says, we had an interaction in the morning which made me fearful. I was fearful the momentum from last night, he was going to put it on me and get mad at me as if I deserved it, I guess. Then they bring out the video of Depp slamming cabinets, and that was when he found out his mom died. And you can hear him in the video, and he says, did anything happen to you this morning? And that's what he's talking about. That's when he found out his mom died. So... And then remember earlier that she said in her testimony, she literally says, well, we were having a discussion about, giving each other permission to record. But yet that video right there when he's slamming cabinets, she didn't have any permission to record him. And that's why he literally got upset about it. Exactly. April 21st, 2016, her 30th birthday. And she says, he told me he had a scheduled meeting, the text that he was going to be running late. We finished dinner, giving him an opportunity to show up before everyone left. See, so Johnny Depp said that he was late because he had to pick up her weed and ecstasy, remember? Or I think it was just her weed. And she's saying that he was late and he never got there. So which one do you believe? See, I'm always going this way. And then she says, and then we were in bed that night and he said, what's your fucking problem? She says, I was getting advice from a therapist on not making him feel attacked. An argument followed. I blocked the door and he kind of shoved me down. I tried to shove him back and I felt myself retreat in the bedroom. He hurled another bottle at me and it hit a painting. Okay. Like, this is the thing I don't understand. I don't get this point. Like, what is the big deal about throwing shit? What's the problem? What? Like, he's not throwing it at you. He's not abusing you. If he's pissed off, he's taking it out on all the stuff that he owns. Because it wasn't you that bought that fucking bottle of wine, was it, Amber? Was it you that paid for the bottle of wine? I don't think so. What, did you make it on your little 20K gig that you did for getting naked or what? No. Johnny Depp was making bank. You weren't. Okay, you're a skank. We're going to cut that last part out. And then she says, I don't remember why. I don't know what he was saying. When he did, he threw my phone out. This is when he threw her phone out the balcony. And she says, oh, no, you don't. And then she throws his phone. And she says, I didn't want to be stranded without a phone. And then she says, the next thing I know, he has me by the hair and I flew off the side of the desk. I remember trying to fight him off of me. At some point, we were back in the main bedroom. I was getting my toothbrush. So you go from fighting to back in the main bedroom getting your toothbrush. What the fuck? Okay. And then she says they got into another altercation. She says, he chest bumped me like bro style and he held me down on the bed. I tried to get up once or twice. He would taunt me and grab me by the pelvic region. He claims, you want to be tough like a man? And this happened for a bit of time. I remember collapsing on the floor, feeling exhausted. I remember crying, wanting to throw in the towel. Is there anything we can do to not do this? Can we stop this? I was just so tired, hurt. I remember crying and feeling ridiculous saying these things. I feel fucking ridiculous acting like you. Hey everybody, thank you for liking and subscribing. Thank you for staying this long. I'm going to cut these videos in two. So we will see you on part 2 of the Amber Heard trial day 16. Okay? Get over to that next video. We'll get it going. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We'll see you over there.